what's going on, guys? As you can see, we made it to Daytona. Got the truck all finished. She's looking beautiful as ever. And next to me, it's empty. Biggs, what happened, boy?
All right, so the last update before we left on our trip, I mentioned that my CV boot on my CV axle ripped and I didn't have time to replace it, and I knew that I could make it here. I just didn't want to worry about it because this is kind of one of the trips that CO takes that we like to have a little more fun than usual. And I didn't really want to worry about my truck coming down since I had to leave a week early. So rest in peace, she's back home sitting and chilling before I can get that fixed. And really, I'm not too upset about it. I've had a blast this week and it's really not hindered how much fun I've had. I really wanted it here, but I didn't really want to drive 17, 20 hours with it because that didn't sound very fun for you at all.
It wasn't bad. So yeah, just like he said, it was about a 23-hour drive for us. The only real issues that I had was that my caliper bracket for my brake, the top slide pin actually fell out up in the mountains in Georgia. So that was kind of flopping all over the place. I lost one of my pads. I just got that replaced. We pulled off. There was an auto parts store at that exit. So we got everything all replaced and we are good to go. So other than that, we got here at 6:30 in the morning Thursday. I got out, looked at my CV boots, and my driver's front is ripped, just like yours.
Yeah, so once we left, I looked at his, and his angles are literally the same as mine. So it was a matter of time before his ripped. We knew it was gonna happen. It was just when it was gonna happen. And I was hoping that we could at least get, or he could at least get down here without ripping it. That way, on the way back, if it did, then it wouldn't be as bad. So hopefully it holds off until we can get back home and he can get that replaced, because hopefully it doesn't start clicking too bad.
So far, it hasn't started to click. To get on the beach, backing into the spots here, I do have to put it in four-wheel drive. There's no issue of it going into four-wheel drive, but yesterday when I was leaving, I tried to put it back in two-wheel, and my front diff started grinding gears a little bit. So I'm a little nervous on taking it out today. I'm hoping that we can get it all taken care of just like we did yesterday, though, so fingers crossed.
All right, so this trip has been pretty fun. I've been here a few more days than everyone else, so I've had my fair share of fun, but we have a couple more days. Hunter's, I think, enjoying himself. Since I didn't bring my truck, we're gonna have to do a few more things for this build series to wrap it up. And for the most part, I think hopefully we have a safe drive home. He has a safe drive home and we should be good. All right, guys, so we made our trek back from Daytona. I didn't take my truck, of course. You guys have saw that I didn't bring it, which is kind of disappointing, but Hunter made a cross-country trip all the way from Daytona back to Appleton, Wisconsin in a one-shot trip. Lawson and his girlfriend and I did not. We stopped at my house in Indiana, got some Z's, rested up before we made our 4-hour trip the rest of the way. Hunter, how was your trip all the way back through?
It was actually pretty good. We left Daytona Sunday around noon, and I didn't get back to my apartment in Appleton until 10 a.m. Monday. So 22-hour drive straight. And that's without napping or sleeping or anything. We stopped for gas maybe 4 times. Other than that, it was pretty good. I didn't have any issues coming down or going back up, except traffic. Traffic was one of the worst things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Milwaukee really got me. It was about a 45-minute traffic jam down there. Other than that, I mean, Atlanta, Nashville, everything was good. So,
yeah,
no issues coming back at all.
Yeah, same for us. So, with that being said, we're gonna present our trucks here. We're gonna do a little walk around spotlight style. We'll do mine and then we'll do his, or his and mine, or whatever. We'll just go through what we kind of did to it. So
cool.
Come on, let's go, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna walk around my truck real quick. You guys have seen multiple renditions of my build. I've had 2 sets of anthems on it. I've had BMS on it. I've had street tires on it. I've had it stock height. I've had it leveled. But we finally built it to what I would say is probably the most I'm gonna build it. There's a few things I'm gonna tweak, but as of now, this is kind of my build. So let's get into it. All right, for wheel and tire setup, I did the 2414 Archon Mandelas in the satin black finish. This is one of their newest wheels that came out, and I really like the satin black finish with my truck. Kind of a bold move, if I'm being honest. A lot of people would probably go with, you know, the black and milled, but I kind of dig the satin black. And that is paired up with the AMP MTs, and that is a 35-13.5. And lift, we went with the Rough Country 6-inch strut replacement kit. A lot of people have a bunch of questions on how I got it to 8 inches. With that, if you do a strut replacement kit or a Vertex kit, you can stack a leveling kit on top. Although I do not recommend, it's not that you can't do it, but just be careful with your angles. I know my CV angles are not good, and it's not a huge issue, but it can be for some people that want four-wheel drive. But you know, this is a pavement princess, so I really don't take it off-roading or in situations that four-wheel drive is super necessary. So yes, that's how you do it. You take your 6-inch kit, stack a leveling kit on top. I did do orange spray paint. I've been roasted on the internet multiple times by multiple pages already because I had to spray paint it. But if you guys watched the previous episodes, you know exactly why I did that. And it's super unfortunate, but I have a color picked out that I'm gonna redo it in, and it's totally different, so stay tuned for that. And then as far as other little miscellaneous things, you know, I got my antenna delete thing. I do have tow mirrors as well. I just needed a replacement mirror because Hunter actually donated his old ones to me, but there was a cracked mirror. So I ordered a replacement mirror, and I'm gonna pop those on, so shout out to Hunter. And moving down the back, you got your standard block and the N2 shocks from Rough Country. And that's pretty much it. I have exhaust. I have 4-inch straight back. It's the MBRP. Axle dumped to an 8-inch tip, which I don't have my tip on right now because that was a tragic disaster in the powder coating, and I just didn't repaint it. So pretty much kind of wraps everything up. I do have replacement fogs and a new grill. You guys saw in the Wish build that I put this grill on, and then I have some Wish Raptor lights, but contrary to popular belief, all the Raptor lights are the same. Hunter got some Morimoto ones. Shout out Morimoto, we carry those on the site, but I think they all look the same, so maybe the brightness is a little skewed, but for me, who cares? It is what it is. And honestly, that's pretty much it for my new setup. I do have my Wish horn still in there and some Wish parts that I haven't taken off yet. Yeah, I think that wraps it up. I have a lot of future plans for it still. Even at its current state, it looks pretty much done, but I do have a lot of things up my sleeve that I want to button up and add to the truck. So stay tuned for that. If there is another spotlight, I have no clue. So we're gonna toss it over to Hunter, and he's gonna go over his truck.
All right, guys, so Biggs went over his truck. Now let's go check out what I did to mine. So, first starters, I'll go over the wheels, tires. I went with basically the same exact setup that Biggs has. It's the 2414 Archon Mandela, except I have the black and milled ones. Other than that, 35-13.5, 24 amp MTs. I did end up doing the Vertex coilover kit, like I said. I did do that leveling kit on top of there. It was kind of a pain to try to figure out how to get that to fit in there, just because the top of the coil, I actually had to flip it 180 for when the leveling kit went on top, because it was opposite for where the holes for where the strut goes in up on top there. I got everything handled, everything is good to go. So other than that, I mean, I have some zone upper control arms. That's pretty much it for the front. As you can see, I did do my powder coat. It is the satin poly gold from Prismatic Powder. I have that in the front and the rear. It actually matches my grill and my tow hooks basically to the T. So pretty happy how that turned out. Moving to the back here, I did do add a leaf because I didn't want the squat. I didn't want to have the 6-inch in the front, or 6-inch in the back, and then the 8.5 in the front. I didn't want that Cali lean. I saw enough of that in Daytona that makes me not want to do that ever to a vehicle. So I did do a 1.5-inch add a leaf in the back. I have every other leaf powdered, same color, the satin poly gold that's up front. Underneath, before I actually lifted the truck, I did add a Horn Blasters train horn. It's the Conductor Series 232, I believe. And it's loud. Scare a lot of people with it, which makes me laugh. So other than that, that is basically what I did so far. If we want to go back up to the front here, don't mind how short I am, but I did add the Boost Auto tow mirrors. I did the mirror caps in the tuxedo black. I got some paint mixed up for that. Headlights, I got the Morimoto XB LED ones. Same thing with the fogs, those are Morimoto, and just like Biggs mentioned when we were going over his truck, I did put the Morimoto Raptor style grill lights in there as well, just to make everything up front Morimoto. Other than that, I mean, that basically covers my build. Just like Biggs, I don't plan on being done with this at all. I've seen a lot of pretty insane trucks at Daytona, and it makes me want to do it to this just because you don't see too many F-150s that are crazy. I haven't decided if I want to do it to this truck or if I want to get a 3/4 ton and do it to that. But other than that, I'm pretty happy on how it looks for now. I think I might leave it for probably the rest of the year. I haven't decided if I'm going to touch it for next year yet. But other than that, yeah, that is basically what I all did to it. So.
All right, guys, that wraps up our 3-part build series. You saw that if you want to go to my TikTok kind of blew up because of how much drama I put on that. I got some hate comments, but you know, you'll have that on the internet. But with that being said, I want you guys to drop a comment down below whose truck you think's better. I personally, if you don't vote for Hunter, I'm gonna be a little curious why you didn't do that. So drop a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe because I know that there's some banger build series coming along the way and a bunch of other videos. Yep. And hit that like button because we put a lot of work into these trucks and it's great content. You gotta like that.
Money.
Yeah, and money. We spent money for your own pleasure and entertainment. So, you know,
you guys are looking for wheels, tires, suspension, customoffsets.com.
What he said. All right, see you guys.